De la Right, my MVVs, welcome.
Ooni of Ife is rumored to have performed a sacred Itofa rite for Queen Naomi. One of those rites that the gods demanded that Kabiyesi will perform. I told you last week that there are other rites. You know that we kept saying that, okay, why is Naomi performing all of this rite? Why is Kabiyesi not asked to do anything? It's not as easy as we think. And both of them who are performing the rite. And the rite from Kabiyesi is to ensure that when Naomi comes back to the palace, or more, Kabiyesi will treat Naomi fairly right now because Kabiyesi himself has gone through so much. They said Kabiyesi has performed the Itofa rite, or they are performing the Itofa rite. Now, they said the gods, the sacred grounds of Ile-Ife are active once again. The spiritual gates have opened and the gods have spoken. Queen Naomi, the beloved and spiritually anointed wife of the Ooni of Ife, is scheduled to perform her final full moon ritual. Okay, this ritual will formally seal her reinstatement in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, a significant spiritual and cultural step that comes after, the dramatic and controversial way she exited the palace of the Ooni of Ife in the past, okay? But before Queen Naomi can carry out her own, ritual, that's the final full moon ritual, they say Ooni of Ife has, his own responsibilities. The gods, though they, through the traditional council and the spiritual elders have demanded that the Ooni himself must undergo a, final step of purification and reconciliation ritual. Chiefs among this is the ancient rite known as Itofa rite. Now, what is Itofa rite? Okay, I'm also hearing this for the first time. Itofa rite is an Ifa-based consultation ritual, one of the most sacred and deeply rooted spiritual process in Yoruba cosmology. It is a process where an individual, especially a king, like the Ooni of Ife, submits himself before the divine oracle of Ife to seek wisdom, instruction, and spiritual approval before making life, altering decision or transitioning into a new phase. Itofa is more than just divination. It is a complete spiritual inventory. It is a sacred process where the Ooni must be spiritually accessed, not by men, but by the gods themselves. The oracle, look into the king's spiritual ledger to identify unresolved, karmic ties, hidden spiritual depth and areas that needs cleansing before he can embrace new energy, particularly the energy of restoration. So basically, you do know that Ooni of Ife also has gone through his own fair share of divorces here and there and all of that, okay? And as a son, the great son of the Oduduwa, they are also looking backward or looking in depth to see if there are some karmic, energies that Ooni needs to erase from his own life, because they also feel that that could be one of the reasons why whatever was there in the past affected his relationship with Olori Naomi. And so all of this cleansing must be done. The Ooni of Ife Itofa's ritual began at the inner shrine of the Orumola compound within the palace. Only the highest ranking, Ifas were, permitted to oversee the rite. The ritual involves sacred items, obi, that is kola nut, oye, palm oil, iyere, shea butter, ade, is it ade or ade chicken, and, ewure, goat, okay? These were the items that demanded for, okay? Did you hear that? Obi, oye, iyere, adi, ewuri, okay? So basically in English language, they had to use kola nut, they use palm oil, they use shea butter, they use chicken, and they use ewuru. Okay, as sacrifices to cleanse, appease, and reconnect the spiritual flow between the king and his divine mandate. The Adura prayers were chanted for hours. Praise poem known as Oriki were recited not just to honor the Ooni, but to realign him with the spiritual code of his lineage. Okay, now for this rite. as we are hearing what is going on, they said the significance of this rite being done now before the final full moon ritual with Queen Naomi is highly spiritual and also deeply political. The Ooni of Ife cannot bring back Queen Naomi without divine approval. It is not just a personal or emotional matter, it is a spiritual duty. Her previous departure was surrounded by spiritual disruption and emotional trauma. Both for her and for the throne, the gods require cleansing and rededication before a woman of her anointing can be restored. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Delara. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the success still and the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love you. Share Dubai, my people. If you're yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. And do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Daily rights, my daily rights, my daily rights, my own people. Daily rights, my daily rights, my daily rights, my super people. It is not a small something now to be married to a king. It's not a small thing, no. They said through the Itofa rite, the Oni is not only seeking permission from the gods, he is also realigning his own energy with Queen Naomi's energy. If I would determine whether the timing is right, which they have done, if his intention are pure, which they have done, and whether Queen Naomi's destiny, okay, it still aligns with that of the Oni of Ife, which they have done, okay? Now Itofa enables them to see this. Now the rituals that are ongoing right now are the final ritual before the Ogak Patak, which is the full moon ritual, the last full moon ritual. Whether the full moon ritual can happen this end of the month or not, that is what I do not know right now. But preparations are ongoing to see that that final full moon ritual is done. So our baby girl will be reinstated, and she can be flying, going all over the place with her husband. Oh, Lord, is not there. They go see something. Nami never even enter palace. Oni no gree waka with them again. Elders don't drag. They don't talk. Oni no gree. Whether they are able to convince Oni or not, so that's not even the bone of contention right about now. But they will see. When Queen Naomi is fully reinstated, wahala breaki bonu yekpa. Not a small thing, no. Now, report from within the palace indicate that the Ifa revealed positive omens. The Ifa declared the path is being cleared, but only if they only complete the remaining rite, particularly those of sacrifices and appeasement. That is why the Oni is now moving with urgency. With each passing day, the moon draws closer to fullness, and the last full moon ritual is fast approaching. Now, they say the final full moon ritual is highly symbolic. In Yoruba tradition, the moon represents feminine power, restoration, renewal, and divine timing. Queen Naomi's, ritual under the full moon is to mark not just her return, but her spiritual reinstatement without the king's, spiritual purity. I mean, yes, without the king's spiritual purity, her ritual would be void. That is why the Oni's Itofa rite had to be performed first and, done correctly. As we are hearing, interestingly, why this deeply sacred event unfolds, there has been tension in the palace. Some of the other wives, those who came after Queen Naomi's departure, are reportedly unsettled. They fear what it means for, their position and influence. The gods have not demanded ritual for them. The moon is not, waiting on their reinstatement or anything, but everything there. In fact, when it comes to Queen Naomi, the kind of things that they do in that palace, this alone is frightening the Oloris. They are realizing that, look, it looks like we don't even have a place in this palace, because at the end of the day, it's just about Queen Naomi. Things that ordinarily Oni would send other people to go and stand in for him, Oni is standing up to do them by himself, because he wants this ritual to be done and he wants to be with his wife once again. Queen Naomi is a woman that has found favor in the heart of the Ooni of Ife, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. I'm going to bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.